evening. I am excited to have with us OJ Elton. I don't have like a clap track or anything, so you can imagine though, people are just woo. Yeah. Maybe it'll be post-production.
His boo.
Yeah. No, nobody would boo you. Maybe Belle.
Maybe.
No. Just for fun though.
I keep complaining.
Comedic relief. So how do you spell that? OJ.
The
OJ.
The H is silent.
Okay. How did your parents put it on the birth certificate? That's what I want to know.
They put it as Clayton.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you spell OJ Clayton?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So how'd you get the name OJ?
Well, as a wee tot back in the 70s. I know, right?
Never mind. I'm
My
not gonna ask
parents
that question.
wanted to call me CJ
CJ.
for Clayton John.
Oh, nice.
However, my sister was unable to say that. So it was OJ.
Nice.
Yeah.
My mom named me after Dustin Hoffman.
That's
So that was cool like 10 years ago.
now they're like, who?
And they're like, I'm sorry. What was that? So the reason we brought OJ in this evening is to continue on with a series called The Cloud. Right? It's all based around Hebrews chapter 12, not the fluorescence. The author of Hebrews spends his letter encouraging believers by pointing out the faith of those who came before, the faith of those who trusted God to move and to work in their lives and the world around them. And that's what we've been doing. We've been hearing from Christ followers that you know and love, listening to their stories, and hopefully learning from their experiences and being encouraged. But before we do that, we are going to play a little game called Slapjack. We have oversized hands we're going to hit each other with. I'm just kidding. That's not actually going to happen. And you want to know the reason that's not going to happen?
What's that?
It's because Amazon's not shipping non-essential items in a timely manner.
First of all,
So
how
we
is a
couldn't get
giant
the
hand
hands.
not essential?
I know, that's what I said, but I looked it up and it was like non-essential.
Unacceptable.
Thanks, Rona. So, back to OJ. I got some questions for you. All right. How long you been a Christian?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say, there was this time when I was 5 where I asked Jesus into my heart.
Nice.
When I lived in Welton, but I don't know if I understood the gravity of my decision at that time.
Fair.
So I'd say since I was 12, really, and so 33 years.
Wow, 33 years. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Fun fact, 33, that's 1 year shy of my age. Yeah, you've been a Christian almost as long as I've been alive.
Wow.
That makes you my senior, my elder.
I guess so.
That's awesome.
That is kind of sad.
I was going to say it's kind of cool and exciting.
Yeah,
but I mean,
yeah,
it really
better.
depends on your perspective, I guess.
Yeah.
So what caused you to become a Christian?
Oh gosh.
So I assume, at age
Yeah.
5, family had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
At that point.
Grew up in church.
Mm-hmm.
Earliest memories are probably in church.
Yeah.
So it's always been my whole life kind of, this is who, it's part of my identity
Okay.
from like a very, young age. Well, from the time I was born. So, but that isn't why I became a Christian. It's just kind of, but it did lay, I think, a good foundation for me later on to make my own decision that I do really believe all this crazy stuff.
Crazy
Yeah,
stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what changed between the ages of 5 and 12? Like, what was it around age 12?
I just think having more, kind of realizing my own sinfulness, really. As a 5-year-old, I don't know what my worst sin was.
Being a turd?
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah. I did pull a chair out from under my mom once.
That was your worst sin?
Yeah, but
That's
I saw it on TV and everybody laughed on TV.
No.
And so
Did
I
anybody
thought,
laugh at your house?
No.
Nobody laughed.
There was no laughter that day,
Oh.
especially for me.
Especially.
Yeah.
But your butt was redder, I
Yeah,
bet.
it was a
Oh.
a nice bright shade of red.
Oh,
for sure.
man.
I don't know. Yeah, I think at 12 I went to camp, and it was kind of one of those things like, yeah, this is really like, I need to decide this is what I'm gonna do, and so I did it.
Very cool. Major
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What camp was it?
It was up in Prescott. It was the Assemblies of God Camp. But for being in Prescott, it wasn't a very beautiful.
You expect like beautiful trees and
cinder block buildings, dirt,
very cool,
concrete. Yeah.
So you weren't driven to an emotional decision by that cinder block wall, then?
No,
I presume.
No.
This very worshipful environment.
Yeah, it was very
gray.
I was not one with nature. I thought I would be, but no.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So as I talk to more people about their stories, about not only how they came to Christ, but also just their walk, right? This journey. There's common elements that kind of come up. And one of those is that most Christians seem to have one or more of these like aha moments during the journey, maybe even a turning point, right? What would you say is one of those aha moments where something clicked for you maybe, or something changed, or became more important?
Right after high school, I think I was very kind of just like, what am I going to do with my life? Like, and so I think in that I was, searching for purpose at that time, and I think that was one of those times during a church service where I kind of was like this following God is doing ministry and things like that's gonna be like searching for direction, for purpose was one of those times. I was 18 or 19. 18, I guess. Yeah.
And so you went into ministry.
Yeah.
What did that look like? What kind of ministry?
Well, at 18, the only one thing they'll let you in is youth ministry, pretty much.
That's true. That's true. I can attest to that.
So I did. I started off in as a worship leader in youth ministry. Me and my guitar, and that was it. And I knew about 6 or 7 chords, and
that's all you need.
Yeah, pretty much.
That and a capo, I suppose.
Yeah, and then started. Then from there, teaching a little bit, and then from there, going to college and Bible college, and
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And
finding a wife,
Aww. You got that MR degree? No, you were born with the MR degree.
Yeah.
Right. We're always misters, I guess.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of experience in ministry. Would you recommend to a student that they consider ministry as a vocation?
No, maybe. No, I
totally.
I definitely would. But it is not without its challenges. I would say that. But yeah, if God is calling you to that, then you won't be satisfied doing anything else. But there's also, God may be calling you to ministry, but He may be also be calling you to, a career field on top of your ministry. I don't know. So It's just, you have to really be kind of open to what God is doing in your life and what talents and interests and abilities He's gifted you with. Because when I thought of ministry, I thought, I have to go to Bible college and I have to rack up all this debt and I have to, get a job in a church and jobs in churches are abundant, but they don't always financially
provide the necessities of life.
So yeah, I mean, there's a whole. Just be willing to look. There's a million opportunities to serve in ministry, and it may be as a full time, like that is your job, like Dustin here, who's amazing at it. Or it may look different. So especially I think as times are changing and I don't know. But
so ministry, I mean, it sounds like what you're saying is ministry is not necessarily a vocation, or ministry isn't.
It's not a job. It shouldn't be a job.
Yeah.
It should be a calling. And
That's
if
cool.
you're looking at it as a job, then you're probably looking at it the wrong way.
We like to put stuff in a box, right?
Yeah,
and ministry is no different.
Yeah.
We put ministry in a box and say, it has to look like that. We have to go to Bible college, get the debt, get these things done. And that's just not the case.
Yeah, it's all very. If I could go back, I would have done a lot of things differently. But I'm very. I mean, I wouldn't change. Obviously, finding Bell and where we are now. So everything led us here, which is good. But hindsight's always 20/20. And you kind of look back and go, man, there's a few things I would have. I would have done differently. I would have thought through a little more.
That's one of the best things about God is that He takes all these things, and a lot of times there are mistakes. And these shortcomings that we have, and He's like, you know what? I got this plan for you, and we're going to move you along. Despite you, we're going to go here.
Exactly.
That's cool. So if you only had the opportunity to tell students one thing to encourage them in their walk, what would that one thing be? I know, that's a big one.
One thing.
Yeah, one thing. Not two things. Just one thing.
Their walk.
And don't try to trick me and sneak two into one. It can only be one thing.
Don't. How would I phrase it? Don't quit. Like, even if you. Can I at least explain my? Yeah.
You may. Yeah. Right. There's not a word in it.
So even if you feel like you have completely. Blown it, messed up, don't stop. Like, just keep, kind of just pick back up. Everyone messes up. You mess up when you're in your 40s and your 50s and your 60s. It doesn't matter. You're always going to have failures. But so don't ever just like throw in the towel out of guilt or whatever because you think you've gone too far the wrong way. Just keep on. Just keep on. God's grace is so immense. We just have no idea how He can take our failures and our screw ups and still turn them into something good. So
beautifully said.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My advice.
I appreciate that. Very encouraging.
Yeah.
One last question.
Okay.
Ready?
All right.
This one's a doozy. If we get word from the bosses of Arizona that we must self-quarantine and not leave our houses for 2 weeks, what would you spend that 2 weeks doing?
Okay. So
you thought about this?
No. Because I have a list of things that I would like to do, and then I have some things that I would probably end up doing. Okay. So for 2 weeks, I would want to read my Bible, pray more.
Yeah.
I'd want to work on my Spanish. I would want to, study and work on being a better nurse and work out and
nice. Wow.
Be spend quality time with the family. But for 2 weeks, honestly, if I were just at home, I think there would probably be a lot of Netflix and Hulu and Amazon going on. I'm not gonna lie. So,
I know.
But ideally, that would be my ideal.
That's a high bar.
I would aspire to that.
That's a high bar.
And I would probably. Right, you shoot for the stars. Maybe you hit the moon.
Absolutely. Hey, that's not bad.
Yeah,
that's not bad. That'll preach. That's good stuff.
Well,
thank you, Mr. OJ, for being with us.
My pleasure to be here in this beautiful studio.
Absolutely. Yeah, we do what we can with the budget that we have.
Can't wait to see what's behind me.
You can see it right here. What are you talking about? Thanks, Mr. OJ. I would shake your hand, but we're in this whole pandemic thing. So
the Demolition Man.
That's right. Do you want a drink?
I'm good.
Okay. All right. See you guys soon.
Is the camera on?
It is.
Yes. Has it been on this whole time?
It has been.